Hello, VC, and whoever's watching. I know I'm a bit late, but recently I discovered the vinyl tags. I've never heard about it before, and I thought it's a great way to just look through your collection with questions that came by other people, and yeah, just to get through it and check it out. So I wanted to do it too, and I mixed up some question lists because not all seem to fit for me or my collection. Um, but yeah, still, I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you enjoy it too. First one is best find of 2022. It's for me Gun by Gun. I discovered this album by another YouTuber. His name is Audiophile Laws. He's amazing. Unfortunately, he doesn't upload any new videos, but he kind of also inspired me to do this stuff because I think it's very fun. And in one video, he recommended this album, and it's amazing. It's not the original one; it's US pressing from the early 70s, but still, it's the original artwork, and I just really love it. It's wow. Artist you recently discovered, I've already shown it in one video. It's the Edgar Broughton Band. Um, I'm glad that I got this one because I listened to the live record and I didn't like it so much, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of mixed between hard rock, but also some folk stuff is in there. Like the acoustic guitar is very dominant, and it's a great record. I can highly recommend it. A perfect album. Like through the years, my taste changed a bit, but I picked up an album that I said in the beginning when I started to listen to older music is the best record or just a perfect album for me. It's Colors by Eloy. This is a German band. I think you can call it art rock. It's not really krautrock, or it's actually not at this point in their career. But to me, it's just an amazing record. It starts amazing, finishes amazing. With Sunset, it's like an instrumental number, and I really love it. And for a long time, Eloy was my all-time favorite band. It changed a little bit over time, but I still really love them. And this album tops it. Yeah. Um, a song that made you cry or get close. I pick up "Dirty Work" by Steely Dan when the music or when the singing voice starts. It's for me it's heartwarming. It's wow, and that's also one of the reasons why "Dirty Work" is one of my all-time favorite songs. So Steely Dan will definitely do it for me. Yeah, the next one runs are free, like free records that were released separately after each other, but still are amazing or quite good. And for me, I pick up the Beach Boys. Um, I start with Surf's Up, then comes Calm the Passion So Tough, and in the end, Holland. Especially the first one, Surf's Up, is in my eyes one of the, or not just one of their best albums, but one of the best albums ever written, recorded. Um, just the second side for me, it's perfect. Yeah, Till I Die, wow, and then it hits in with Surf's Up. It blows my mind. It's not like the fun Beach Boys music that most people expect when they hear the name. Um, yeah, I think with these records they just actually they did already before with Sunflower and Wild Honey, but those are really mature records and albums, and I really love them. And also I enjoyed that the other members of the band could bring in their creativity and bring in new songs, and um, yeah, amazing. Um, an album that would surprise your friends. Well, I pick up Antonio Vivaldi, The Four Seasons. I don't think that most people know that I'm also quite into classic music, but this in general is my favorite classical piece. Yeah, just in general, like all the four topics, like the Four Seasons, they're a killer, and to have it on record is great, quite great. Like listening to classical music on a record engine is something else. It's really cool. What's the next one? Yeah, an air record by someone that passed last year, and for this I picked Procol Harum because last year Gary Brooker, the singer and piano player, passed. It was really tough because I enjoy this band. Currently, I live in Freising, and it was my first ever visit to that town because Procol Harum played here. And yeah, I got this record last year. It's not one of their most common, I think, but still amazing work. And Held Was I In is quite fascinating, like an epic piece, and I can highly recommend it. So, what's next? The album took me longest to find. Well, I don't think that it's the rarest record in general, but yeah, there's some bands that I just want to have the whole discography. I want to collect every record by them, and like 4 or 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I really got into the Beach Boys and their music and the arrangements, how creative, how complex the music is. And so I said I want all the records, and I still don't have all of them. I think I missed like four or something like that. Yeah, but last year I got Surf and Safari, and so with that, it's the one I looked for the longest time. It's not the original one; it's from '77, a Japanese pressing, but still, it's quite fun. Just especially to see where they started, and as I said before, like the other three albums, where they in which direction they developed. If you think about this, and then you look at Surf stuff, and in my eyes, I still think that Surfing is it's killer. I really love it, and yeah, great record. Maybe not the best, but still good. Um, what's the next one? I have to check. Sorry. Yeah, best buys or new releases of 2022. There's actually one problem. I don't. I'm not so much into new bands, and yeah, like even if there's an old artist releasing a new record, I'm. It really has to catch me the record that I buy it, and so I didn't buy any new releases in 2022. So I picked up the newest record that I have. This is Roger Waters. Is This the Life We Really Run? I listened to it first on CD, and it blew me away. It's amazing. By this record, you really realize his influence, his epic influence on the music of Pink Floyd. And I still think this is an awesome record. Great album, especially Deja Vu. When he starts to scream it at one part in the song, it kills me. It's really great. So yeah, no new release of 2022, but the newest I have. Next one is Rabbit Hole. So music I really get into, and yeah, for this I pick Pink Floyd. Recently, it's not like the whole or every album by Pink Floyd really catches me, but the early stuff. So I really listen quite a lot to High by the Gates of Dawn, also Saucer Full of Secrets, but I prefer the versions on Amamagama because I think especially like Saucer Full of Secrets is killer in the live version. Um, so yeah, early Pink Floyd stuff, and the cool thing on Relics is like there's stuff from the records of the time, but they also put singles on it. They released like See Emily Play, Arnold Lane, and I really love it. Especially on this one, I can highly recommend Julia Dream. Really great Pink Floyd tune, which is not like the usual or that much common stuff. Yeah. An album with an animal on the cover. For this one, I picked The Snow Goose by Camel. Um, yeah, my dad got me into this. It's just instrumentals, no lyrics on this one. But yeah, it's an epic record. It's a journey. It's very uh, musically spoken. It's very creative, and to me, the story, the Snow Goose, is now strongly connected to this record. So, Camel, Snow Goose, an album from Story. Okay, to be honest, usually I just get to record stores or flea markets or whatever and just buy the records. So there's not that much that happens. Um, the only one that came up to my mind is Black Sabbath 13, and I bought this special version in Istanbul when we were there. We were on a trip with our class, and it even back then it was not that safe in Istanbul. So our teacher said like, please stay in a group or just at least visit the city with one or two friends, so don't be alone. But I just found out there's one record store. I really wanted to get in there, and I got away from the group. Bought this one, and yeah, just like my teachers, they really didn't like it. They talked with me about it, but when they found out I wanted to buy a record, they said it's okay, it's fine. So Black Sabbath 13, which is by the way an amazing record. Like I kind of hope that Black Sabbath like leave it like that, because to me it's just like the circle finished. They started on Black Sabbath with Rain and Thunder, and they ended on this record too. So yeah, it's just one circle. It would be great. Unfortunately, the water is not on this one, but still very good. Yeah. Um, Album from a Faraway Land. I pick up Headquarters by the Monkees. It's a Japanese pressing, and this actually I also bought it in a foreign land. I bought it in Thailand. I was on a trip there in 2016, 2017, I think, and yeah, in Bangkok I visited some record stores, and it's a Japanese pressing of Headquarters, so far as away land, just from here from Germany. Um, what's next? Yeah, the last gig or the last live show I went to. This would be 10 years after. I didn't visit 10 years after, but I went to 170 Split with Leo Lines, who was the original bassist of the band, and he played here in Freising. It's a very small venue, but they rocked it. It was an amazing show, and after the gig, the band came out and gave some autographs. So Leo Lines signed it for me, and yeah, also by the way, great record with my personally favorite song on it, "I'm Coming On." Best bargain find. This would be "Concert for Bangladesh" by George Harrison and or various artists. Um, I got it, I think, for 20 euros or something. I didn't have to bargain. Still, the price was already amazing. I was like willing to pay 30, 35, 40 euros for it. It's an amazing condition. You still have the original booklet with it, and it's a great record to listen to, especially the Why My Guitar Gently Weeps version is really cool. Um, an album that takes you back to a specific time. This is Supertramp, Crisis What Crisis. Um, like back then, I went on a lot of fishing trips with my dad, and when we went on those trips, we listened to some records. We shared the music, we talked about it, we both played the drums, and it was just it really connected us. So yeah, I pick up this record because especially Crisis What Crisis, there was one time like for 4 or 5 trips in a row, we just listened to this record, the whole thing at once, and yeah, brings me back to those times. Um, yeah, complete discography. For this, I pick up Simon and Garfunkel. Um, I will just show 2 records, but I got the rest of them too. With the first record and Bridge Over Troubled Water, the last one. Though they still had one song together after that, My Little Town, which is really cool. You should listen to it. It's on 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover by Paul Simon. And this, in my eyes, is their best record. I just really love the folky stuff and the arrangements. It's it nails it for me personally. And Wednesday Morning 3 a.m. in this version, because like later they released another version, Somewhere They Can Find Me, and they took the lyrics but made new music to it. But this version on the first record, it's amazing, and also like the story that's told, I really love it. And yeah, as I said, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Also, I think like all the records are amazing. This one's signed actually by Art Garfunkel. I met him a few years ago, and I'm really glad to have like all the records in my collection. Though I'm very happy that they don't have that many, because they're not like the cheapest. And album artists you can't to seem to get into. For this, I pick up Bruce Springsteen. It's just I don't get it. I know what he did, and I really appreciate like his live shows. I know he's a really hard performer, and he gives everything. But to me, it never just it never catch me. It never caught me. So yeah, for this Bruce Springsteen. But still, I got it in my collection. I think my mom gave it to me from her collection or something. And the last one is wildcard, so I can pick up any record. For me, this is Joe Walsh, but seriously, folks, I picked up this record because back then there was a time when I thought, like, I got all the records that I want. Like, I wanted to get all the Beatles records, and I just had a list in my mind, and I was just about to finish it. And then I watched a documentary about the Eagles, and so I realized in the record shop this guy from the band, Joe Walsh, and I didn't know anything about the record, so I just bought it. It was cheap, and it just blew my mind. It was amazing, and that was like the first time I realized how much fun it is to discover music um, just by buying it on record. And this was kind of a game changer to me. That's actually the reason why it has such an importance to me. Because with this record, I just kept going and going, and I'm more curious about music, about discovering music, and yeah, actually, I owe it to this record. So I really love it. Yeah. So 20 questions, 20 answers, 20 records, or a bit more than 20. I hope you enjoyed and see you next time.